Hi, this is Nigel Foote coming to you from Blackburn, a suburb of Melbourne, an outer suburb, and I'm here with Norma Parker, and we're talking to Norma as part of Anglo-Indian Stories, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself and about her family and leaving India, going to England, and then coming eventually to Australia. Hi, Norma.
Hello, Nigel.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
So, then you were born in, what was the name?
Dongaga.
Yeah.
It's a small
I'm glad you said that.
I was, yes, born in Dongaga, which is a very small railway colony on the Bengal Nagpur railways.
It's a very famous railway then.
Oh yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. So some of your earliest memories that you'd have from that time?
Oh, I remember the times when we had a Kairagaraja. That's why I remember Dongaga so well, because in retrospect I saw why we loved it so much, because it offered everything that the Colonial needed in those days.
Right.
You know, there was the Raja and they had the wild animals in his estate, and he would allow us to go into the estate and have picnics.
Really? Oh.
And they would, all the shikaris of that day, living in India among the railway men, they would go out with their big 11 cell torches and put on the hills. We have hills with the fire burning between the railway colony and the foothills of the hills.
Yeah.
And I remember going one night with them walking moonlight strolls. And they would shine the torch on the hills, and you see these animals with their green eyes.
Oh, their eyes.
Yes.
So it's very much almost a Rudyard Kipling description of.
Yes, and I knew nothing about him then.
No.
I told about him later.
Yeah.
On, and I said, that's why I've got this absolutely magnificent feeling when I think of India as a child. It was awe-inspiring for me. I was so enthralled with everything of India. The Chuti's bridge, Target Bridge, and Bears Hill.
Yeah.
And the flame of the forest on the hills would cover the hills. My grandparents, they built themselves a house, retirement home at the foot of the hill. There are quite a few of them, 5 or 6 of them. These beautiful hills and houses. And we used to go and play in the hills.
So your grandparents and your parents, do you think they had a very satisfied, fulfilling life? Did they, or was it mainly work and home? Was that this?
A lot of social activities.
A lot of social,
there. Yes, we had the Railway Institute there, and a lot of beautiful people. My goodness, good-looking women. I was only 6 or 7. My mother would take me for the 31st night with the ayah and the latest baby.
Yeah.
And some of them would be playing Crown and Anchor, the game on the veranda.
Oh.
And the rest would be all dancing, doing the Valita and this and that. So I was a child that took everything in. I was so thrilled.
Enthralled by the whole thing.
Yes, and their lovely gowns and the way the men were dressed in tailcoats and cummerbunds.
So these were the Anglo-Indians?
Anglo-Indian.
So
and most of them were all light-skinned.
Light-skinned.
Right. Family, you'd find dark skin. So it just shows, now I'm 4th generation. We had to go to England.
That's right. Yeah.
So these were the earlier generations.
The earlier ones.
Grandparents. They all had large families.
And what about the household itself, where you lived? You were on the railway.
Yes, we all had railway quarters.
So you had railway quarters.
Yes.
Yeah. Did you have a bungalow to yourself, the family?
Sometimes we would have, because with every promotion, you went off to a little station somewhere, and like Adra and Belasco and places.
yeah.
You stay there a few months or maybe a year, come back to Donegal.
Yeah, okay.
Somehow we did that. We kept coming back to Donegal, and that's why it's just in me to remember my childhood because I love that place so much.
Really, yeah.
So yes,
And inside the home,
inside the home.
was it a
Small.
Victorian type home or Edwardian? It was the furniture that you had would have been all
the very English style.
Yeah.
You know, my grandmother would have her. I was brought up mostly with my grandmother. That's why.
right.
Because every time my mother and father went off somewhere, my mother would keep me with my grandmother because she had a child, her last child, and my mother had her first child, which was me, at the same time.
Oh,
So we would sort of be together, and yes, we were always together.
So what was your grandmother's name?
Agnes. Strong, but she was a Walton.
Walton, originally, yeah.
Yes, yes.
And was she fairly strict? Was she quite a Victorian character, or?
Yeah, she was very strict, I believe, with her children. All girls, were 5 girls and one son. And she would chaperone them in those days.
Yeah. And the school? Did you go to a boarding school, or did you go to?
I went to a boarding school.
Which school?
St. Joseph's Convent, County.
Now that's quite a famous one, I think.
Yes, it is.
How old were you when you?
I went to the convent when I was 9 years old.
9.
Yes.
Did you go kicking and screaming, or were you looking forward to it?
No, we were very, very submissive.
I suppose it was the norm.
Yes, it was. It was. Everyone. We all left at the age of 10. We went off. Most of the children there. In
And
colonies.
it was a convent school?
Yes.
So you had nuns?
All nuns, yes. And of course the teachers were lay people.
Yeah. So how long was your training there?
10 years.
10 years?
Yes, and we studied for senior Cambridge.
That's right, yeah.
So
And the school, was it mixed? Did you have Indians,
Yes,
Europeans,
we had a few Indians,
Anglo-Indians?
yes, Muslim. We had one girl, she was a Muslim, and the Bengalis and Punjabi, just the odd few. Most of them were Anglo-Indian.
And Europeans, did you have?
Yes, we had a few Europeans. All the nuns were in those days, were Swiss and French and German. We were there during the war.
How was that? Did you?
Oh, it was an experience, I can tell you. Food was scarce.
Oh, yeah.
We used to get maggots and
all
in our flour for
bread.
And the nuns would tell you, make a mortification and eat it.
Oh, really? Picking them out?
Yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah.
So how was that whole period during the war there? Did you all ever feel that you were close, to danger, or that what sort of impact was it having?
Well, yes, there was an air of fear, but not real danger, just like clouds hanging over, because the nuns were so, all pray for this and pray for this.
Oh, okay.
We were told about it, everything that went wrong, from abroad.
Right, you had the news coming through.
Yes.
And what about the independence movement, Gandhi and that? Was that talked about at all?
Yes. My father was very much into all that.
Oh, right.
He would, but as a child, I didn't take too much note.
Yeah. Do you ever remember him saying that this was going to be a bad thing for the Anglo-Indians?
Or good thing? Plenty of those sort of remarks.
So it was seen as definitely a negative.
I can't quite recall what my father thought of it, but I know he did talk a lot. He was into politics.
Okay.
Yeah,
so he was aware.
He was aware.
He wanted to know what was happening.
Yes. But more, you're right, thinking about it. There was a lot of negativity about Gandhi doing what he did. But then we were in the days of the Raj, this is not supposed to happen, and trying to curtail it.
Yeah. when you graduated, you did your senior Cambridge.
Yeah.
You then became a nurse.
Yes, I became a nurse. And
Did you want to become a nurse? Was that what girls did then, or was that what your family?
No, it's what
promoted
I
you?
chose
You
to
chose,
do.
yeah.
Yes, I chose to do that because I like the medical line. It was of great interest to me. So I did general nursing and midwifery.
Oh, okay.
And we opened, my sister and I, we did 1 year service for the government. They sent us off to a new college. It was just a few months opened, and we opened the new theatre then.
Oh, that's
So we
nice.
were the pioneers.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Fantastic. Where was that?
In Nagpur, Neil Ratan Sarkar Hospital in Ajni, Nagpur. Very
So that
big
would have been
college.
exciting.
Very big college, yes, very nice.
Yeah.
I liked it very much.
Yeah. So how long was your training as a nurse?
In total, I suppose about 5 or 6 years.
So it's a long
Yes.
time.
Yes.
Mm.
I did some private practice in Calcutta and nursing homes.
Right. Yeah.
And when I got married, I used to deliver all the babies
Yeah,
in the
how was
colony.
The midwifery would have
Yeah.
been fantastic.
I love midwifery because it was hands-on.
Definitely. Hands in, hands
And-
on, hands all over the place.
Yes, and something I would have done if I would have been a doctor because
Yeah.
that's what I was keen to.
Oh, you're keen to be a doctor.
Yeah, but my parents couldn't afford it, and so I settled. Yes, so I've delivered many babies.
Fantastic.
Yes, when I went to England, some of them came to see me.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yes,
It's really nice.
and of course the servants.
You delivered the servants?
In their outhouses,
In their
on the
outhouses.
cutja.
Yeah.
Missy, come, Missy Papa, please come.
Yeah, the babies.
She's in trouble. And
Oh, really?
yeah, delivered
Yeah.
in breach and a cutja that's
Really?
reaching the.
Yeah.
Oh dear me.
Oh.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
that's quite an experience.
Yeah, it must be amazing to be able to,
Yeah.
bring a life
Yeah, it's really.
out of a life.
Yes, yes. I
Especially
love
if there's a
children.
problem.
I think,
Mm.
yes.
So did you say one of your sisters also?
She joined with me.
Hmm.
My mother wouldn't send me alone. But I was the rebellious one when it came to getting a job.
Mm.
My mother didn't want us to go to any. She wanted to marry us all.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
She didn't want a career.
No,
Woman
I said,
on her hands.
No, I've studied too. And my father said, how can you do that to them? You made them study.
Yeah, to do all of that senior
Yeah.
Cambridge.
And she worked for us to get study.
Oh,
She
I
was the
see.
one that took the reins
Right.
and sort of
Mm.
made the extra money by
Mm.
we had cows and buffaloes and
Really?
we
Yeah.
used to deliver all in the homes, railway homes,
Yeah, all in the colony.
fenced off in Dongaga.
Yeah, so she was quite enterprising.
Oh yeah, she would fell the cow with the old goala and
Really?
deliver the calf. And, yeah, quite an exciting life. You wonder why I remember it.
Yeah, that's amazing.
It takes my mind off all the things that came later. you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yes.
That's amazing. She
Yeah.
sounds like she was
Very
fantastic.
strong woman.
Never heard of Anglo-Indian women tending to
Yeah, because
to
her mother
livestock.
was like that. Her mother had the same.
Yeah.
At the home they built at the foot of the hills.
Mm.
She had a farm like.
Oh, wow.
All the